You got a 5-way pin connector and towing package on your Tacoma. You want a quick overview on how to install brake controller box? Well, you sit right back and I'm going to show you how it's done. Well, at least how I did it. If that's not something you don't like, then feel free to modify it. It'll give you a heads up for the project underway. Here's how. So what am I going to need to install a brake controller box in 2016 to 2020 Toyota Tacoma? 10 millimeter. Don't have to use an impact like I have, but I do. It's just a 10 millimeter. You don't need a deep well. 10 millimeter ratchet. Probably get by using a wrench. Be perfectly fine. Flathead. This was just. We're going to use this. This will adjust my specific brake controller screws that holds it and mounts it down. Also going to use a 4-way screwdriver. You're going to need that, and that'll help you remove the screws as well if you don't have 10 millimeter. But one of the bolts requires 10 millimeter and a light. That's all you want to need. First thing you want to do is get access to this kick panel in order to hook up this brake controller box. You'll need to remove the front piece of trim. This is an Access Cab 2016 Tacoma, so your door trim piece might differ. All you have to do is just pry on the bottom of it really gently, and you can hear it. It'll pop loose. See there? See where mine splits? And just move that out of your way. Then to remove the kick panel, take that bolt right back there loose. Just twist it. Mine's barely tight. Twist it by hand. Once you twist that, this piece right here come right out. I think it comes over and then out, but it'll fall right out. Give you access to all the wiring that you need and all the other things you need back in here. So this has to be removed, especially to plug in your brake controller adapter. So this kick panel is removed by removing the screw right here. Just twist it off by hand. I assume if it's too tight, you could probably use a flathead or 1-way. Take that off. This kick panel will then come loose. Pull out, come off. This is the inside of your kick panel. There's a snap there. There's another snap right there on the bottom. Those correspond to holes that are located on the side of that right there. So when you pull it, make sure that you pull outward that way. To remove this lower dash piece, these are all snaps all the way around, except for the bottom. Right here is a 4-way or 10 millimeter. Right there is a 4-way or another 10 millimeter. Take those loose before prying out. You'll also have to take loose this 10 millimeter. If you don't, it will not come out. You will break it. When you go move this panel piece or snaps, see the red snaps? They go all the way around it. It's kind of giving you a look so that way you can see how many snaps they are. Every one of those go inside a corresponding hole that looks like this. They'll all snap into place where they go. There's one, there's one. The bottom is a 10 millimeter screw that goes right here. You have to take that loose, and there's 2 more screws. Alright, so to remove the change holder, there's 4 4-way screws. One there, one there, one there. You can see the other one right there. There's 2 of them. Take a 4-way, take those loose. That'll remove this change cup right here. Give you room for your brake controller box. All 4 bolts removed. Comes right out. Now if you want, you can cut the back of this out. As you can see here, you can cut the back of that out to extend your controller all the way through, if that's what you choose to do. But that's how you remove it in the event that you want to mount it differently. Now in my case, my brake controller box, yours could be different. In my case, my brake controller box, not really even sure the model number on it. I guess that might help you for some reference. On my brake controller box, when I go to slide it inside this hole right here, it's just a little bit too small. This just won't fit. And I don't want it sticking out like that because, I mean, who wants that in the way? So, what I want to do is pop this panel right here out. This whole piece right here comes out. So what you do is you pull the dash back loose. I just barely got it in here. And you're out of the way. Going around this, there's snaps. There's one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. Basically what you do is you want to pull those tabs in. When you pull those tabs in, it'll release it. And this piece will go that way. Real easy because this is a dash interior piece that you're going to see. You don't want to break it. So after you push them in there just like that, pop right out. You hear it? Now mind you, mine's a standard shift, so I unhook 2 wires. It's easy. Clutch cancel one. See a tab on it right here on the top. Push that down. This right here goes to the other switch, which is for the power inverter. So this one goes to this wire, and this one goes to that. Take those loose. As you take this out, as I'm going to do, I'm going to go in, I'm going to sand it, grind it. Well, not grind it, but remove some of this right here, so that way it'll slide back in there and it'll be tucked out of the way. Here's a better view of the difference. And on the side right here is where you control, on this controller, how you actually control the actual brakes. So basically what we're going to have to do is make it wide enough we can slide that out so that way that can be adjusted while you're driving. That's the fit that I have at the current moment. Now ideally when you want to take this off, you want to go a little bit, test fit, a little bit, test fit it. It would be ideal to use probably a file or something other, something that's go really easy so that way you can go really slow. I currently don't have one. We'll go around it real easy right here and make it just a little bit bigger. So that way we'll slide it forward so that way we can adjust the brake on the back here. Now after a little bit of grinding, and then I went over it with a little bit of sandpaper just to deburr the edge of it. Now we have a brake controller box. Slide right in here, just the way I want it. So that way we can mount it. Because let's be honest, who really uses this little cup holder for anything anyway? So, in and out. And you want to make sure it's not too tight because you don't worry about it hitting something and maybe vibrating. And on this one, you adjust the brakes with this one, the gain. So you definitely don't want it hitting that. So you want to make sure that's just the way you want it. And so, final configuration of this box. So I need mine mounted this way so I could reach the gain switch, the other switch. So I couldn't mount it from the top because there's nothing inside the truck, which I'll show you. What I've done was it has this lip on it right here. So all I've done was got really short screws, enough to go through that right there. Mounted that plate down in here. So as you can see, mine I needed it to mount that way. So what I've done was I mounted it this way, and there's a lip on this piece. Mounted in there so that way the box will set that way, and I can set the box up like this. Now I just have to make sure that these are adjusted to where they're not going to contact the side and it's kind of centered. And so basically now I'm able to put my box in here the way I want it. It's only sticking out the way I want it. Now we have a finish ready to install product. So it's not making contact here. This is my gain. I'm making contact here. Should be able to just install it right back in the truck. Now we'll snap our piece back in place. Snap back in place. Connect our connector. This connector here can be bought. I will link it in the description below. Now we're going to connect clutch cancel, our power inverter, and a brake controller. And there's only one plug in here that fits. Mine was located back there. Once you plug that in, the only thing you have to do is plug straight to your brake controller. And we need a ground. For the ground, there's a 10mm that goes right here. We'll mount it right here. This is plastic, so we'll mount it in between it so there's metal on the other side, and that'll give us adequate ground. You're not satisfied with that ground, there's other locations under here that you can utilize, but that's the one I'm going to utilize. The ground wire is white, and it's the only one that's separate from this loom. See, we slid it right back into place right here. Slid right back into place. Now we're just going to put the 10mm back in there. As always, guys, remember, your rig, your call.